All right, welcome back to No Subs Needed. Today on this episode, we're doing a little bit of an experiment. Can a nice but laid-back amplifier make bright speakers sound good? A little bit about these speakers. So I've been fixing these for a friend. I have struggled to find the part pretty much anywhere online. There was a woofer that was blown. The voice coil just got kind of crooked, so had to find another woofer. Finally found one, and I've connected these to my Cambridge Audio AXR-100. Very laid-back amp, by all the reviews and my own listening experience. It is a very nice amp. It's very dialed in, lots of power. When I plugged it into my Kefs, I really felt like you could just feel how much control this amplifier had over the driver. But it is like a laid-back amp versus something like an old D'Agostoni era Krell, which they were very, they were forward, but if you had the right speaker, I think Thomas in Stereo, one of the YouTubers here that talks about audio as well, he has a video talking about hi-fi synergy, and I'll link that down in the comments. But it's so important to have hi-fi synergy. I completely agree, and some components just work better with others. These speakers, I'm not entirely surprised that they respond to a nice amp because Dr. Bose was an amp guy, but these speakers connected to I call it my garbage can amp. I've got an old Sherwood, I think it's called a 260B from the mid-80s. Lots of power, It's not very delicate, and it's very forward. The insides actually were refreshed, 5 years ago, and I actually got it for free with a pair of Bose 901s. I really don't like that amp. I kind of keep it around to plug different things into, but I hated these speakers on that amplifier. They have these rather large tweeters. So you've got an 8-inch woofer, and this is I think it's a transmission line design. So it's kind of interesting. It might be something a little bit different than a transmission line because you've got this big chamber here, and then you've got this cutoff, and you've got a port, it's like sort of a slot port here, to this other chamber with your port here. You've got these big, these are probably 2-inch twiddlers is what they called them, and then you've got this 8-inch woofer here. These tweeters, I think I mentioned in another video, I hate them, or I hated them, so they're just kind of, they're a little bit too bright, and, they're just a little bit too forward, not very accurate, more like a butter knife, as opposed to the Kef being sort of a ceramic kitchen knife. These are, vintage sounding speakers. They kind of sound, like a good jukebox at a bar or something like that. They're fun speakers, a lot of space and stuff. But the question we're answering today is, can a laid-back amp like this Cambridge chill out a pair of very forward speakers like these Bose here? The answer, in short, is yes. You can. So to my surprise, I really dislike these connected to that Sherwood. But I've been listening to these speakers the past couple of days after I fixed them to make sure that there are any issues with them before I give them to my friend, and on this Cambridge. And I actually do really enjoy these speakers on the Cambridge. That shrillness was actually chilled out. Not to say that a bright speaker or a brighter speaker like my Kef Q150s is going to sound too recessed on this amplifier. Those also sound very good. But this had a nice sound. Actually, the tweeters sounded much more pleasant. Some of that peakiness actually turned into some sort of sparkle for these speakers. I really like old music on these speakers. I made a little playlist of stuff that I just kind of listened to and thought sounded good on these speakers. But to my surprise, the Cambridge actually worked to chill these out, and they actually do sound like pretty pleasant speakers. Again, I emphasize the importance of hi-fi synergy. If you have a nice pair of speakers and you like them, and you can play with the placement, and you like them enough, but there's something maybe that doesn't feel quite right, I would actually suggest trying a different amplifier. And you'd be surprised how different speakers react to different amplifiers. Different kinds of amplification, Class D versus tube versus Class A versus Class AB, all that kind of stuff. And you know, with the Cambridge, these are much more chilled out, pretty pleasant sounding speakers. So yes, in short, in this experiment, I found that, yeah, the Cambridge AXR does chill out bright speakers. It's a nice amp, and even if you do have some bright but good sounding speakers like these, you know, and I don't even consider the Keps necessarily bright. I think they're neutral, but they do have that like sort of scalpel edge top end where you can really hear a lot of detail. That's very nice, very controlled, and they come out beautifully connected to the Cambridge. These, which are a little bit shrill, are a little bit forward, are a little bit bright, the Cambridge actually chilled them out very nicely, and you know, we got some pleasant sounds out of these things. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and you know, next video, I think we'll finally be talking about those big Infinity IL40s, I believe they are. Have those coming soon. They're kind of big speakers, so they don't really fit in my small car. So I'm gonna have to borrow someone's car to get them over here. But I think, yeah, next review we're gonna review the Infinity IL40s connected to my Cambridge here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.